In the NBA, one of the hardest awards to predict before the season is the Most Improved Award. However, as the season starts progressing, it gets more and more obvious who's going to win the award by the end of the season. So today, I'm going to be talking about the 6 main candidates, in my opinion, who are most likely going to win the Most Improved Award. As far as the like the content, like I'm saying, not only make basketball content, do different types of content, you know what I'm saying, all different types of stuff, memes, clips, funny stuff like that. Also, I will not be counting second year players, so guys like Tyrese, Maxey, guys like Cole Anthony, even though they're having a great season. No second year player has ever won Most Improved, not even Luka Doncic, who went from Rookie of the Year to literally an first team All NBA. So yeah, but yeah, outside of that, yeah. So the first guy I have on this list is Jordan Poole. The Warriors are actually the best team in the NBA. They won 15 games, only two losses, and a lot of that has to do with their depth. Of course, Steph Curry, but also Andrew Wiggins, and of course Jordan Poole. Poole in the 17 games he started has averaged 18.5 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, averaging around 46% from the field. Now, in my opinion, he's actually the lowest chance. He has the lowest chance of winning Most Improved, at least on this list that I have. Mainly because, of course, he's probably going to be a backup once Klay Thompson comes back. However, he's been playing really good, so he kind of needs a shout out. And the Warriors probably would not be this good. I mean, they might be kind of this good, but he's been playing a large role in them winning. The next player I got is Miles Bridges. Now, I'm also not really too high on Miles Bridges, but I think he needed also a shout out as well. In the first 19 games of the season, I believe he's played every single game of the season so far. He's been averaging 21 points per game, which is as much points per game as Harden is scoring. He's doing it on fairly solid efficiency and is leading the Hornets in points per game. Now, I feel like this has a lot to do with just him having a hot start, not really him being improved, because he did have a 6-point game on 3 of 13 shooting, his latest game. But I still think Miles Bridges, his offensive game has really improved. He's gotten to be better at creating his own shot off the dribble instead of just moving off ball and going off either dunks or feeds off LaMelo. Third guy I have on this list is Dejonte Murray. Now, this is when we get to start to see like some of the legit most improved candidates, in my opinion, who are probably going to win it. Dejounte Murray is on a Spurs team that is one of the worst teams in the NBA, so I don't think touches is really going to be too much of a problem for him. In the first few games of his season, he's actually been really good, averaging 18 points, 8 assists, and 8.3 rebounds per game on 45% from the field. Now, I haven't watched a lot of Spurs games this year. In fact, I've probably only watched like 2, and those 2 games, Murray didn't really play that well. However, I mean, Murray is one of the better perimeter defenders. In fact, he's one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA, and I think his efficiency will go up. So I can really see him, throughout the season, just, by process of elimination, potentially winning the Most Improved if, some of the guys either got injured, especially, or, some of the guys weren't able to consistently put up, the points and scoring. Because I think that Dejounte Murray is actually kind of a lock to average this throughout the season, maybe even more points per game and more assists or whatever. But I think he's had a good start. So yeah. Fourth or fifth, I think it's fourth player on this list I got is Darius Garland. Now, from a perspective right now, Garland is nowhere near the Most Improved award. His stats are looking around the same, and he hasn't really improved that much. I mean, he's been a lot better this year. He had more of a role in the offense, but when it comes to his play style, he hasn't really improved that much. However, with Colin Sexton just being injured for the rest of the season and Evan Mobley being out for 2 to 4 weeks, I believe, and Mobley could even get injured even more, I think that Garland is going to, potentially have a jump when it comes to his points per game, when it comes to production. Maybe some other people might fill in the roles, but I think that Garland, he was already kind of like the number one option even before the injuries. So now that there's injuries to two of the top 3 players, in my opinion, I think he's gonna get a lot more touches. I think that he's gonna play maybe more a big part of a role of the Cleveland Cavaliers. The fifth player I have on this list is Tyler Hero. In my opinion, Tyler Hero is second in Most Improved running, only to, of course, number 1, which I haven't said yet. But he's been averaging 22 points, 4 assists, 5.5 rebounds. I know I've been talking a lot about stats, but his stats, 46% from the field, nearly 40% from the field, or 3, and only starting 4 out of the 16 games he's played is pretty, ridiculous stats, And this is on a Heat team that has a lot of talent, Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, stuff like that. But not only that, I mean, I think not only that Tyler Hero is in the running for most improved. He's also, of course, in my opinion, gonna run away with the Six Man of the Year award. I mean, this is kind of off topic, but like, yeah, he's kind of been the best six man. I mean, outside of that, I mean, the only other six man I really think of right now is Montrezl Harrell, and he's been good, but I don't know if he's been as good as Tyler Hero. But he's been playing a very impactful role on a contending Heat team. He's been just what he was supposed to be this year, which was a pure offensive player off the bench who's a solid defender and can really score. So that's why he is my number 2 on this list. And my number 1, I don't know if I put this in order. I think I actually did accidentally put this list in order, but my number 6 or number 1 player, in my opinion, the favorite to win most improved, was Ja Morant. I think it's pretty obvious. Morant is top 10 in points per game, while also averaging 7 assists, 6 rebounds, and 48% from the field on 36% from the 3. He's legit improved his 3-point shot. Now, I don't think he's really taken that much of an improvement since last year. I think it's more of just, without Jonas Valanciunas, he's getting more touches, more offensive opportunities. And yeah, I think how the team is built now, he's just, getting more of a role and more of a chance to score more points. I think that's what it is. He has become a knockdown 3-point shooter, and I think that Ja Morant is it's kind of his award to win. I mean, he's up 6 points per game. I think he's up assists per game, or maybe he's like down assists per game. I don't know, but in my opinion, I mean, if he can keep these numbers, which I think he can, he's definitely going to win most improved. The only problem is that Ja Morant, he sometimes, starts to, rely a lot on his teammates. He lets his teammates score a lot of points. He's not a guy who's going to, I don't know if he is, I don't know, but he's not a guy, at least to me, who's, a selfish scorer, or at least a quote-unquote self scorer. I don't know. He's not a guy, in my opinion, who's going to constantly put up 25 some games. He's going to, take a back seat. If his teammate's on fire, some games he's going to score. But, yeah, with that being said, that's the end of this video. Comment down below who you think is going to win most improved. I might do this Sixth Man of the Year, depoy. I think most improved is probably going to be one of the only awards I do. But, yeah, it's going to do this video. Like, comment, sub. Yeah, I'm out.